ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today is April the 28th, 2022. Yes, Thursday, April the 28th, 2022. Let's get right down to it. It's election season, ladies and gentlemen. It is election season around the whole state of North Carolina. And although I'm talking to North Carolina residents, Guilford County to be exact, North Carolina, I'm speaking to. But this pertains, what I'm going to be saying pertains to everybody around the country, okay? Get in tune with your local government. A lot of things that we see going on around us in our neighborhoods, communities, whatever you want to call them, your urban areas, your rural areas, and so forth and so forth. It's local government. If you don't see something getting done, it's because it's your local government that's not getting it done. We must have the same energy that we put in when the presidential races and candidates are in. We need to have the same energy for local government, because if you have the same energy for local government, we all will see changes in our cities, in our states. So let's just get right into it. I want to talk about the jobs. I'm gonna just touch on a few things that's just going on right now, not only in the state of North Carolina, but around the country. Okay? That can be going on around the different parts of the globe. So let's go. If there are going to be more jobs coming to the area, we need more affordable housing, okay, in the state of North Carolina and in Guilford County, period, okay? And let's be clear, the state of NC hasn't taken any steps in being proactive like most states have almost a decade ago, and just starting with raising the minimum wage for the state. We have a shortage of inventory when it comes to affordable housing. Along with inflation, many folks' wages don't match the cost to live in this state. Many jobs are already paying $10,000 to $15,000 below other states, okay? Before the pandemic. So if you move from the north, okay? See, people will identify that moved from other places to come, okay? You make a sacrifice when you come. You sacrifice for calm, peaceful living, just smelling the fresh air, So when you come from other places, like if you come from the north, if you come from wherever else you come from, outside of the southeast and outside of the south, you're taking a pay cut when you come to the south, period, okay? You're taking a major pay cut, and you taking a pay cut between $10,000 and $15,000, so whatever your field is, that's what you're losing. I know this because when I came here almost 21 years ago, I did my research before I came, and I seen. But you make sacrifices. But now, and let's be clear, then, the cost of living, you could get you a nice affordable house, a nice piece of land. If you went out to the rural counties, out into the county, rural areas, you get you a nice piece of land and in a home out there for a good price, So, like then at that time, it was still all good. So like now, everybody, you got houses here, the prices of houses up north in the urban area, aka black neighborhoods, struggling neighborhoods, you have houses, and I should say the struggling neighborhoods. You have houses in the struggling neighborhoods in Guilford County that are costing the same amount as what they're costing up north. You know how I know? Because I'm from the north and I'm looking at it. But let's continue. What's more interesting is you see the state of North Carolina taking no actions and curbing the outrageous predatory housing market that shouldn't be. Where are the stipulations put on the landlords raising rent in areas that are already tight poverty levels, with no upgrades to the homes or the apartments? Why is the city and state allowing these predatory acts? Folks are selling homes, and you can do your research. You can look on realtor.com and any other websites that are renting, where you can look up rentals and homes for sale. There are homes being sold in Guilford County over $100,000 more than what that house is actually worth. Or should I say, what it has actually been, what it was previously assessed at. Some of what we are seeing is senseless predatory greed. Make it make sense. What is each city within Guilford County's fair market rent? Okay? I'm going to repeat that again. And I'm speaking to city council. I'm speaking to these people in the governments around the country. When you allow these things to happen, you're helping and you're aiding in these predatory acts. When rent, let me get this straight, because I'm missing my point here, y'all. Bear with me, because there's a lot I want to drop on y'all real quick. Let me get back here. Where is the fair market rent? Because houses in High Point should not be the same price as a house in Greensboro. A house in Greensboro in struggling neighborhoods should not be the same price as a house in Summerfield. A house in Summerfield should not be the same price as a well-off neighborhood in Charlotte, North Carolina. You see where I'm going here? Make it make sense. We talking different areas, different landscapes, and their astronomical prices. Okay? Astronomical prices. There isn't enough inventory, and there's not enough quality inventory for these prices to even be like that. There isn't even enough jobs here, good paying jobs, for people to survive and live comfortably. Let me go on. I could see if the state raised the minimum wage, to at least start there. I could see if they was proactive, the state of North Carolina was proactive when everybody else did it 10 years ago, they got ahead of the bullet 10 years ago, okay? They didn't have to wait till COVID came. You see, we talk about a lot of jobs coming to the state and coming to the area. But you know what happens is these corporations come into this state and come into the area, and what I see is a grand scheme of a hustle. They come, they know, oh, we're in the Southeast, we don't have to pay much. But that same company, this same nationwide company, will pay more on the North, more on the West, more on the Midwest. But when they come to the South, they disrespectful and they won't pay. And you know what happens? We have local government that won't even push for it. And then if they see that the local government is not even doing anything and just so proud to have this corporation here because it makes them look good, but it's not helping the people. You got people have to work 2 and 3 jobs to try to survive and provide for their family. You know, even if someone is living alone, single today, it's still expensive for them here. And I'm talking because I know, because the time when I moved here 20 years ago, it's no reason. Okay, and we're gonna keep going on here. If you're gonna charge 21st century prices, make it 21st century nice. Or go on with yourself. Get lost with the price. You know, I'm gonna say that again. If you're gonna charge 21st century prices for your home, or to rent your home, make it 21st century nice. Don't ask for astronomical $500,000, $250,000 for a home that was only worth $80,000, okay? And you only have 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and you don't even have upgraded AC unit, HVAC. You still using air conditionings in the window, and you asking people to give you $250,000 for a home that was only worth $80,000 just 3 years ago. And probably someone would have walked up on you with cash, could have got it for $50,000. Make it make sense. Ripping off the people. Meanwhile, the state still hasn't said nothing, but you have all the, in the middle of the pandemic, I spoke about it. The governor, different people up there in Raleigh and things of that nature, even commissioners, these people were getting raises that were some folks' salary for a year. That's the type of raises they were giving themselves and getting during the pandemic. Meanwhile, they're giving the people on the front line scraps. This is what I meant when I said when COVID came, it will pull the sheet back, and you're gonna see the truth. But meanwhile, they tap dancing out here, and they acting like they're doing so much. In all of these states, let's not forget, they got money from the government, so they never did nothing for the people. They got money for the government. The federal government passed down money to the states, okay? And the states are using that to help the people out with housing, with rental assistance and food assistance. The states are using that money. The states not dipping in their own surplus, using their surplus money. Okay? If from my understanding, I believe certain states had to dip into their surplus to kind of give the federal government like a down payment or something, or give them some type of. They had, from my understanding, if I remember right, it was something to that magnitude. Okay, I talked about it last year. So you could go back into my archives here on YouTube and on the channel, and you can see I talked about that last year. But let's move on. So, these states are sitting here, and they're still not doing nothing. And let's be clear here: the money that was given from the federal government, many of it for the schools, for a lot of everything that the government gave, it has to be used by a certain amount of time. Okay, it has to be used by a certain amount of time. I think 2025 is the limit on most of it. As far as what school funding that was given, a lot of things. And if they don't use it, they have to give it back. So what we're saying here is, okay, that's temporary what the federal government gave, okay? You're going to still have these problems if you don't put nothing in order. You're going to have people out of homes. You're going to have a homeless rate that shoots up to the moon, okay? So, and if the jobs you bring in here are really not going to pay the folks, again, you're going to have a problem. If you're not going to put any type of stipulations, legislation for your state, if anything, be proactive. It's like, when you're going to be proactive about something, raise the wages, curve this thing with the housing market. I mean, we sitting here and you watching media actually show you and lay it out there for you about how people are selling homes and rent is like skyrocketed. And you sit back and you wonder and you say, how? How? When the cost of living here has went up, but the wages ain't matching it. Okay? How if somebody's only making $41,000 a year, that person can't afford a $300,000 home? Okay? You just can't. And what they're doing is putting a square, trying to fit a square in a circle. And there are folks out here putting themselves in those jams there, rushing and buying these homes, or were put in positions and don't even know. Like, they just put you in a hard spot. Okay? Because that's the same thing that happened to the market in 2008. Okay? It crashed. The housing market crashed, and you had so many houses on the market, you know, and people were getting put out of housing. And you had Obama had to give some sort of a bailout. You know, that's when the banks were asking for the bailouts. You know, with the bailouts and things, the banks were asking for bailouts because they were putting people in homes who could never afford them. And the market is going to go right back to that. You have these realtors, these companies out here that are pushing people. Like, all I want to say when it comes to the housing market, ladies and gentlemen, if you in the market to buy a home, it's a business. It's an investment. Be smart. See, investors don't move, and smart, and people with money, people when they're playing with money, you know, just because you think that money ain't coming out right out of your pocket immediately, because the bank or the mortgage company cut the check, you still have to pay every dime back that was spent. It's liquid funds. It's liquid funds when they pay it. When the bank sends it to the seller, it's liquid funds. Okay, but when you gotta pay it back, it ain't liquid. Understand that. And that's these people out here, they playing this game, and they have you go out here and jump out the window, jump off the ledge, and spend this money on these homes that's not worth it. You have those things going on. You have slum landlords out here that are jacking up their rent, and they're slum landlords, and the state does not. And many states around this country are always leaning towards these slum landlords. And meanwhile, that's why you look around and you see so many worn down homes that just been sitting dormant for years. Just sitting dormant, or people living in these type of wretched conditions because there's slum landlords out here. And then we have people that we have to watch who we vote in, because these people don't care, and they can see that and won't do anything about it. So my thing is, now moving in, we talk about election season here. Okay, we have to pay attention to the school board. Okay, we have the county commissioners. Okay, Guilford County commissioners. You got a couple people. We got a few people. Their seats are up. Kavina Foster, she's up this year, 2022. All right, District 1. Who else here? Katie S. Cushings. This is Guilford County Commissioners. Seat is up this year, 2022. Okay? Pay attention, folks. Justin Conrad, his seat is up 2022. He's District 3. Okay? Katie Cushings was at large. All right? Who else is up here? Frankie T. Jones Jr. He's up 2022. Okay? He's District 7. Frankie T. Jones Jr., District 7, his term is up this year, 2022. Okay? Who else? Alan Purdue, District 2, his term is up this year, 2022. Okay. The other folks here, James Upchurch is up in 2024, District 6. Mary Beth Murphy, her term is up, District 4, 2024. Uh, Carly Cook, District 5, she's up in 2024. Um, let's go here. And Melvin Skip Austin, okay, he's District 8, his term is up in 2024. So, you know, the thing is with that, my thing totally, when I'm looking at, to be honest with you, everybody gotta go. So they all gotta go. Cause when it came to the school system, for one, they been dropped the ball. You need new blood in there. You know, my thing is when you're dealing with the school system for one, and they deal with a lot of things, not just the school system, but that right there, that's enough for me. If you ain't gonna take care of the school, the school and the kids, K through 12, the children, you ain't gonna take care of shit. Okay, you're gonna take care of your own, what you have on your own agenda. So all of those folks need to get out of there. Go check Guilford County Board of Commissioners. You can see the list yourself as well, and you'll see whose term is up, and keep your eye on them. They need to be out of here. Okay, let's go here. We're going down the line here. We're going to the Board of Education, Guilford County Board of Education. Okay. All right. I spoke on this before, but we're gonna do it again. All right. Let's go here. We have District 2. This is Guilford County School Board. District 2, Anita Sharp. Her term is up this year. Anita Sharp, District 2. All right. Let's see here. Linda Wilborn, District 4. She's up this year, 2022. Kim Arby, District 6. She's up 2022. See here. Dina Hayes, she's up this year, District 8, 2022. I don't even think I've seen anybody running up against her. I can be wrong. But, all right, we have that large seat, Winston McGregor, Vice Chair, 2022. We need them out of there. Everybody. When I say the board, the whole board need to flip everything. You know why? Because when you don't see things changing, these people not doing their job. They got to go. You know what I'm saying? They got to go. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. Let's move on down the line here. So now we going on to the Senate elections for North Carolina this year, 2022. Okay? All right. So Richard Burr announced in 2016 that he would not seek re-election in 2022. So, you know, he's just going to fall to the wayside. But you had Democrat Cheryl Beasley. You might have seen a lot of commercials on her from North Carolina going on. A former justice of North Carolina Supreme Court from 2012 to 2022, Chief Justice 2019-2022. She's announced her 2022 Senate candidacy. Beasley is one of the more than 10 candidates running in a Democratic primary for the Senate seat, as described below. Okay? On the Republican side, U.S. Representative Ted Budd, former Governor Pat McCrory, and former U.S. Representative Mark Walker and U.S. Army combat veteran Marjorie K. Eastman have announced U.S. Senate bids. So let me stop right there for a minute. Me, Pat McCrory, he ain't get my vote. I ain't forget what you did when, you know, because Pat McCrory used to work, I think he was president with Duke Energy. He ain't get my vote. I remember what he did when he was up there as governor. You know what I'm saying? He ain't did nothing either. He could have raised the minimum wage at his time too when he was in there. He didn't. He didn't really do nothing to me. And actually, he was the cause of, like, when Duke Energy was trying to raise their rates up. Yeah, he was just kind of letting them do whatever until the courts had to step in, because if Duke Energy could have had it their way, the coal ash bill that happened in North Carolina, we would have paid for that. But the court stepped in and said, no way, Jose, that's not happening. But so Pat McCrory was in there at the time. He would have allowed it to happen. He was not getting in the way of none of that. So he won't get my vote. He won't get mine. You know what I'm saying? But you can look it up yourself. You know, y'all know I don't shuck and jive, y'all. Where we were at? Okay, so we talking about Marjorie K. Eastman has announced U.S. Senate bids. At the North Carolina Republican Party convention on June 5th, 2021, Bud received the endorsement of both Laura Trump and her father-in-law, former President Donald Trump. Walker has stated that he won a straw poll of those at the convention. I don't know what that is. I'm going to just leave that alone. All right, so let's move it on down the line. Where we going down next? This is all local government. We talking North Carolina, Guilford County business. All right. So now we get down to the sheriff, the sheriffs, and we have some guys here, some veterans here. Right now you have Danny Rogers. That's he's the first black sheriff here in Guilford County. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I haven't heard anything about him. I know I wasn't a fan of that B.J. Barnes for many reasons. I felt he was a real racist, and I'm just keeping it real. You know, but I haven't heard anything about this gentleman here that's sitting now, Danny Rogers. I don't know, but I'll just read off a little. Danny Rogers was first elected as Guilford County Sheriff in 2018, unseating six-term incumbent Republican B.J. Barnes to become the first black sheriff of the county. Rogers was part of a wave of 7 black sheriffs who were elected that year in North Carolina, including Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough in Forsyth County and another Democrat. Kimbrough will not face a primary challenge in May, but will have a GOP challenger come November. Prior to becoming sheriff, Rogers worked in Guilford County Detention Center from 85 to 87 and as High Point police officer from 87 to 90. He also worked in the Guilford County Sheriff's Office from 90 to 93 and then had more than a 20-year gap before being elected to the sheriff in 2018. And I know it was something going on around him with, it was some type of controversy with Danny Rogers. I can't quite remember what it was, but it was some type of controversy. And but then you have Juan Marias. I might be saying it wrong, I'm sorry. He's running, and he's a Hispanic, and he's running. Juan, he just wants to make a difference. He feels he relates with the people, and he knows what it feels like to be discriminated against. So I guess he's running with the intent, like he wants to be fair, is what I gathered from reading him. Here we have Therion T.J. Phipps. He's a 28-year law enforcement. He has that 28 years in law enforcement. Let me see here. Running for Guilford County Sheriff is now a new endeavor for Therion Phipps. In 2018, Phipps ran against current sheriff Danny Rogers in the Democratic primary, losing by about 15 points. This time around, Phipps is touting his close to 3 decades of experience. I'm the best candidate because I'm a career law enforcement professional, former infantry commander in the U.S. Army Reserves, and dedicated public servant. In terms, Phipps has the most of the 3 candidates when it comes to working in law enforcement. One of his main concerns, Phipps noted, that distrust of law enforcement, particularly in community of color, and pretty much between Mr. Phipps and Juan, they're both identifying with people's frustrations, when it came to the police killings and shootings, and they pretty much their idea will be running the sheriff office with the intent to be fair, But, I'm just running down names. You guys keep your eyes on these people, and watch them. Okay. Where else we want to go here? I want to talk about this mayors. I wanted to talk about these guys running for mayor. One of the guys just wasn't enough. He just wasn't saying much at all to me. And it all seems like it's like 3 guys. I know Justin Outling. What's the other gentleman's name? It'll come to me. I got it in my notes. Give me a second here, folks. I thought I had it pulled up here, but I guess I didn't. Just give me a second, folks. But yeah, I was looking at these gentlemen that are running for mayor for Greensboro, and I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my eyes on them. It's not enough. It's a lot going on, and in these times you have social media and everything. You have to be. Then it costs you nothing to promote and say things on social media. That's the best way to get to people. That's one of the quickest ways today to get to the people is social media. And I'm gonna just drop a gem to all you gentlemen that are running. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, they're free. You can make videos. TikTok as well. Make your videos. Talk to the people. How about you can even go to group pages on Facebook for the county or for the city, for the city I should say. Talk to the people, and this goes for anybody running around the country. Local governments use social media. It is free for you. You should no longer have to do all the things that you were doing back in the day, all the money. Yes, there are our elders out here who don't use social media, so you still have to go out and post up your banners and still want to go knock on a few doors if you like. But just be clear here, today knocking on doors, people aren't too receptive of that today because there's so many things going on. So, or you can hold little meetings in the park and everything like that. The weather's breaking, so this will be pretty good, especially when the pollen died out. I'm just giving you guys a gem, because I'm thinking about running. I don't know what year I will go in, but I'm thinking about it because I'm watching things. And I've been watching, and but I just know you need a whole change. Everything you need to wipe out everybody, get new blood in there because there are some warriors out here that want to do good and know what to do. They know what to do. You see, we have a lot of people that have been here in the community, been here in the city, been in the county. They've been here all their life, and then they get in these positions and they get comfortable. School board, city. They get on these boards and they become comfortable. They start to see, I guess they get all of these little privileges, these little perks, and then they forget. They get cloudy and forget what the mission was. They how the young kids say to get today, they didn't know the assignment. They forgot the assignment. They don't know, they forgot the assignment. They don't stay the course. Let me get this together, y'all. Yeah, I'm trying to give me 1 second. I'm trying to get these guys up. I had them. Yeah. Let me get these guys up. Let's go here. All right, here we go, folks. So, what we know, what we don't want. Nancy Vaughn, she has to go. She really has to go. But if these guys, if Justin Outling and Mark Cummings, Eric Roberts, I'm sorry, fella, you're not gonna do it. I read a few things, and then you're not. I looked at your social media. You're not really active. Like you gotta be active. You gotta want to do this. Okay. So me personally, what I'm looking at right now, who may who's gonna be here for a little bit, running, the Justin Outling, and you got Mark Cummings, and Nancy Vaughn is sitting. If Mark Cummings and Justin Outland don't step it up, Nancy Vaughn is gonna sit in that seat again and do nothing. But them two gentlemen, only thing what I can say to you, Justin Outland and Mark Cummings, you have to step it up. You have to step it up. Use social media. I'm watching both of you fellas. Use social media. You know what I mean? It's great to go sit around and go to little coffee shops or whatever and have little, and talk to the people, but you want the masses. If you want to reach the masses, use social media. It's free. You ain't burning no gas. You ain't doing nothing. You can actually sit in your car and talk to the people and stress what you want to do. Because there are many things that need to be done. You can just go back in my archives, gentlemen, and look at the things that I've talked about in this county, the city alone. So there's many things that need to be done. You need strong leadership. You need somebody that's going to step up and ready to do this and talk. Nancy Vaughn ain't done nothing. But you can't run against her too well if you're not saying much. The people got to know who you are. You got to get in the people's face. Let's be clear here. You have to meet the people where they are. You have to understand what's going on here. Okay, Justin Allen, I know you said on the city council. Ain't no fan of them neither. We're going to get to, I got something with Goldie Wells anyway, because, yeah, so we're going to talk about her in a second. But yeah, Justin Allen and Mark Cummings, young man, you got to step it up, okay? We got to talk more. This is serious. We can't run on the premise of, the first black mayor. No. What you gonna do? Because there are things that need to be done. There's so much potential in this city. But if you don't know what to do with it and you don't have the right people around you, and you keep losing people, you're losing the police chief that we only been there for 2 years. Like, there's issues going on. You know what I mean? I'm hearing about police officers just counting down the days to retire. There's like some things are going on. You have things with your schools here, okay? And when I say that, some people say, well, he's the mayor. He doesn't have nothing to do with the school. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, because it's going on in your city. The schools are in your city. Majority of them that are hurting are in your city. The larger majority of them are hurting in your city, so you all have to sit down together. You can't leave one department alone. You all have to come together to work. You're on the same team. Everyone likes sports, right? But when you see a football team go in a huddle, you know what I mean? They're all together. They're running the play together. Everybody has an assignment on that team. You know what I mean? From the lineman to the quarterback to the running back to the wide receiver, the coach. They have assignments. The offensive coach has assignments. Everybody has a job to do, but they come together. They're on the same team. There's not, you can't say, okay, this is the quarterback and the team is over there. No, he needs the team to be together. Because everybody here is not in the game, guess what? There's going to be a lot of people get hurt. And there are going to be a lot of losses. And that's what we're saying here. I see a lot of people always talk about sports. I listen to a lot of people talk about sports. And I say to myself, and some of these people are in these positions, and I'm saying to myself, like, well, you know what happens in sports, right? You know that a team comes together. You can't not be on a team playing for yourself. You have to come together. I don't know this. And that's what I actually noticed. Like, some people here in Greensboro and in Guilford County, right? They say, okay, I'm over here. I'm doing my job. I don't know what they're doing over there. But you're working for the people. You're in public service. You're a public servant. And you're working for the people. So you have to all come together for one common. If the people could come together and vote you in, then why are the departments separate? Think about that for a minute. Why are they operating separately? Why isn't the same? Why they don't have the same outlook? That's all I'm saying. So, gentlemen, Justin Outland, Mark Cumming. I'm sorry, Sir Eric Robert. I don't think you're gonna do it, sir. I read something where you said something about you don't have the money like your other opponents have, but you know. I heard what you were saying there, but I don't feel your spirit. So, yeah. But Mark Cummings and Justin Outland, young man, yeah, step it up, man. You gotta speak more. The people gotta hear you. You know, we cannot go off of because I lived here a long time or I know this person, I know that person. We can't vote for people because we know them. You gotta vote for people because you know they're gonna do something. That's what makes it even more intense because you know if you know these young men and you just vote for them because you know them or you went to school with this one or that one. No, no, no. You gotta still hold them to the same standard. I'm not voting for you because you my boy. You know what I mean? I got to know that you're gonna do what you need to do. And if you can't do it, Justin Outland should know from the rip. See, if he gets in, you definitely gonna I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire so bad if you get in, right? Justin Outland, because you were on the city council. So I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire so bad because you're in there, so you kind of see what's going on, right? And you should know what could be done and what can't be done. So you should know from the beginning, like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to move this around if I get in there because it's just too many barriers. So you know what you're up against, what I'm saying. So when you get in there and if things don't get done, that means you ain't do your due diligence. See, we can't move on just because you a black man and this, that. Nah, black man. I'm a black man. We all know this. But it ain't about that. It's about if you could do the job because we need the job done. There's a lot of things been ran on because, oh, she's the first. Like we got the school for a school superintendent. You got Shane Contreras. Oh, she was the first. I guess what they want to say Latinx women. And no, 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 no. And look what happened. And look what happened. We have people. We have someone on a county commissioner that's been here and watched the schools go down. We have somebody like Skip Austin. He was on the city council. You watched the schools go down and didn't do anything when you didn't do anything and admitted to it. These are the people we have in there. When I say they missed the assignment, they got tunnel vision because they were looking towards their own vision and not the vision of the people which they are to represent. So I'm talking North Carolina, Guilford County business, Greensboro business right now. And this applies to all around the country. If you're running for these offices, you must do for the people. Do you see things changing? Do you see how people are moving today? Do you see the mindset of people? It's still talking that people are not going back to work because people have not felt valued. People had time to sit home during a quarantine and rethink their life. They cannot sit home like that again and watch their family struggle. So they had to change course. Okay? We talking Greensboro, Guilford County politics right now. And before I close out, I want to run down something here, right? And I want to show the cost of living, right? This is salary.com, right? This is salary.com. The cost of living in Greensboro is negative 4.2% lower than the national average. Did the cost of living in Greensboro increase in 2022? Greensboro, North Carolina area prices were up 1.5% from a year ago. The largest increase were found in transportation, food, and housing. By using salary.com cost of living calculator, you can make a cost of living comparison of the consumer price index and salary differentials of over 300 plus U.S. cities. Let us help you make an informed. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Okay. The federal minimum wage is $7.25 per hour, while North Carolina state law sets the minimum wage rate at $7.25 per hour in 2022. Demands for a living wage that is fair for workers has resulted in numerous locations-based changes to minimum wage levels. Yeah. So North Carolina, it is 2022, and you still want to stay at the minimum wage. You have not even thought about raising it. So whoever coming in as government, as the governor of the state of North Carolina, you need to think about raising those wages. We're in the 21st century, and inflation is high. Okay, we continue to help the less fortunate, which is great. But what about the ones who are working class and struggling? To where it's like no more middle class. It's like you either got it or you don't. You have it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? This is like that's where we at right now. You know, when you looking around the country, period. But more so, it's bad here. Let me go to another. I want to show y'all something else here, and that was salary.com, folks. All right, this is living wage calculator. Okay. This is living wage calculator for North Carolina, Guilford County to be exact. Okay. The minimum wage $7.25, right? A living wage it will be $16.96 with one child. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how they actually. Okay. If you got two, let me see here. Let me get it right, folks. Let me get it right. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. 3 children, 2 children, 1 child, 2 children, 2 children. Okay. So I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it right. It almost confused me here, folks. And I'm doing this in real time, folks, with y'all. Because I skimmed over it when I seen it. I didn't actually get to stop and look at it, but I said, hey, this is something I can use to present to the people as well. So they actually what I'm looking at here is right. What they're actually saying is, if you have 0 children, living wage, it'll be $16.96. A poverty wage is $6.19. The minimum wage is $7.25. They're saying so if you have one child, it'll be $32.49. A poverty wage is $8.38, and then a minimum wage is $7.25. Okay, and it just keeps going up. It goes up. So it's doing it on a whole nother level here. Let me read this. The living wage shown in the hourly rate is the hourly rate. Okay. The living wage shows the hourly rate that an individual in a household must earn to support his or herself and their family. The consumption is the sole provider is working full time, 2,080 hours per year. The tool provides information for individuals and households with 1 or 2 working adults and 0 to 3 children. In the case of households with 2 working adults, all values are per working adult, single or in a family unless otherwise noted. The state minimum wage is the same for all individuals, regardless of how many dependents they may have. Data are updated annually in the first quarter of the new year. State minimum wages are determined based on the posted value of the minimum wage as of January 1 of the coming year. National Conference of State Legislatures 2019, the poverty rate reflects a person's gross annual income. So yeah, these are the things that you need to know. Like legislation bills need to be passed that they're gonna up these wages, man. You know what I mean? Because you just can't keep sitting here like this and you're like, when are you going to help the people? Because the federal government gave the state and every state money to help their citizens. When are the states, when is this state, I should say, going to help their people? When are you going to help the people with that with the wages? You know what I'm saying? When are you going to make it clear to when these businesses that come here that they pay your people a working wage? When are you going to make that clear and let them know that when they come here, they're going to pay your people? When are we gonna when are you gonna put some things into when the legislation gonna go for this state to really curb this these predatory acts with renting and trying to buy a home with these outrageous rates? I want to show y'all something in closing real quick, okay? Before I'm gonna finish this out right here. So it's saying a living wage if you have 2 children, it will be $41.21. A poverty wage would be $10.56. A minimum wage of $7.25. If you got 3 children, they saying you would need to make $54.35 an hour. With a poverty and the poverty wage would be $12.74 an hour, or minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. If it's 2 working adults. If it's 2 adults and 1 working, they're saying with 0 children, $25.82 an hour, with a $8.38 poverty wage, or a $7.25 an hour minimum wage. If you have 1 child, it's 2 adults with 1 working though. They saying 1 child, that means you would need to make $30.72 an hour, a poverty wage of $10.56 an hour. A minimum wage of $7.25. So I'm gonna stop right there because I know it probably sounds confusing to you, but you could go to living wage calculator. Okay, go to livingwage.com and you can punch in the state and it'll show you. In closing, right now, I want to go through this real quick. I'm looking at this is realtor .com. Okay, there's a house I'm looking at right here, right? Now, this house is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, right? It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. They asking $110,000. I'm looking at the picture and it has an air conditioning in the front window. That's a strike right there. And you asking $110,000. Why? Okay, let's go down. It was built in 1922, okay? It's the 21st century. It was built in 1922. This is a single level home, okay? Let's go to the property details. Okay? We'll go ahead to the property details. Once again, it was built in 1922. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and they're asking $110,000. Let's go here. Gas, heat, electric. Let's go here. I want to see some real stuff. Annual property tax is $442.98 a year. It's 1,200 square feet. It's a 100-year-old home, right? So that's all that it's saying, right? It's not. I'm not seeing anything else jumping out at me. So immediately, what I see is, another thing I want to go look at. Anything what I see is you asking that for a home that's 100 years old. You haven't even upgraded. So you haven't even upgraded the HVAC system, and you asking for $110,000. It was built in 1922 with no upgrades like that, sir or ma'am, whoever selling it, and that home, just for that matter, and needs to go for $60,000. You don't have a garage. I'm looking at the walls. Nothing's done in here. I'm looking at old wood windows. You need to upgrade the windows. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm looking no upgrades at all in this home. Not one bit. Not even to the backyard. Not even to the driveway. That house looks like it looked in 1922. Okay? You have no paint on the front of the home. Nothing. But this is what's going on today. You don't even have an upgraded kitchen. This kitchen is not even upgraded. Come on, man. But this is what's going on today. And this is why I'm saying you need more inventory. When it comes to the city, okay, we had Goldie Wells they had a city council meeting. They were talking about building more homes somewhere along 29, building some more homes. Just to make the short, She said no to it. She voted no against it, and so did other people voted against it. And I'm saying you need more homes here, affordable homes. If there's a reason why you said no, you needed to have stressed that. But you need more affordable homes here. You guys need to do some research and see your inventory is very low. You have more people moving here every I can't even tell you, probably every month there's people moving here, or every quarter you have so many people moving here. I know I've seen many people just on social media just saying how they're moving to the area. And not only that, just moving to the state. You need inventory around this whole state. Okay? They're so fast to build up a Dollar General, a Dollar Tree, but they're slow on building homes for people that's affordable, that meets the income ratio. Who is going to buy these homes, ma'am and sir and city council members? Who is going to buy these homes in this area alone? Who's going to buy these homes that you're selling for that you're allowing to be sold for $500,000? You're allowing these people to come. You're giving them these permits and letting them build these homes. Who is going to live in them? You have many people that have been struggling just to pay their rent. You have many people struggling to pay their mortgage. Who is going to pay for these homes that are being put up? Where are the jobs that's making it make sense for many? That's all I'm trying to understand here. These people have lost their rabbit ass minds, and I'm trying to understand. Listen, man, make it make sense. If you're not going to raise, you're not even attempting to raise your minimum wage for your state, man. That's not even done. There's no legislation for the state done on that. Like, there's nothing being done locally. They're allowing these landlords, they're allowing people to come in here, buy up these homes and jack up the prices. I mean, make it make sense, man. That's all I'm saying. Make this all make sense. We have problems with our school system. We have problems with the state just violating the students their constitutional right, the state constitution. They have violated it by sound and basic education, providing a sound and basic education to every kid in public school system here in the state. That's been violated for years, since 1994. When not since 1994, but it was brought to the state in 94. The case was brought forward about the students being their constitution, their state constitution has been violated concerning education. I mean, it's just all jacked up. And we got people acting like they're doing something because you got a couple of companies coming here. But if they're not going to pay the people, it's not going to matter. You have many counties around this state alone that the only thing in some of these counties are restaurants and grocery stores. And some people can't make a living, can't really live off of that today. Maybe they were able to do that 20 years ago, but today they're struggling. And if there's a hospital in a certain city in a county, that's like that's a great job. Okay? And then still, they're not, unless you in a major profession like you are a doctor or a nurse in the hospital, you ain't making no money. Okay? And most of these counties, okay? And I would say the more rural counties, okay? And things are still high for people. There's a lot of things. So when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to your local governments, the same energy that you put in for when we're looking at the presidential race, and people, watching that, the last between Biden and Trump, it was like you would thought, it was some type of freaking Super Bowl, the way they go back and forth, and they were going back and forth with the numbers and acting like this person. Listen, The same energy that's put in for that, if everyone puts that energy in with their local government, you can see a whole lot, and start paying attention to those people and holding them accountable, we would see major changes on all levels. So people, please pay attention to your local government. Google who is running, because a lot of times these people ain't giving you information. That's why when I talked about the mayors running for mayor, the ones that are running for mayor for Greensboro, you have to step up. Like I said, that one gentleman, what's his name, Eric Roberts, like I said, you got to speak more. You have a lot of young smart people here as well, and they pay attention to politics. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't saying nothing, they ain't gonna give you the time of day. So you can't have that attitude. You gotta come a little better than that, buddy. But Mark Cummings and Justin Allen, you gotta come a little harder. You know what I mean? You can't be laid back, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Nancy Vaughn gonna slide right back up in there, and she ain't been doing nothing and been active at all. Okay, so and we don't want her. I mean, I don't want her back up in there. I know many people that don't want her up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like it got to go. There's too many things that need to be done around this city. You know what I mean? And just paying attention to, just your local businesses downtown Greensboro, when there are many local businesses on the outskirts that have been holding it down for the city throughout the pandemic. We gotta pay more attention to that than just your businesses just downtown. And that's where I see what her focus is, because when everything was going down with the protests, that's the last time, that was the last time I heard her voice. And that was the first time I heard it in a while, and her presence in a while. And that was the last time that I really heard anything from that woman. So she's worthless. We got to get her out of there. But between you two gentlemen, you got to come harder, and you don't get too laxed on just because I don't know. You got to say something. There's a lot of things that need to be done. If you don't know, just look back at my archives and see, if you haven't been already. But look back at the things that I've been talking about, and if you don't know, and there's a lot of things that need to be addressed. And then once again, before in closing, like I said, Justin Allen, your feet, if you get in, your feet are going to be held to the fire. I'm going to tell you right now, because of the fact that you were in city council. So you should know how to move around these folks if you get in. You should know some things. You should know you should know what you're able to do and not do, and if you're able to really do the job. So if you really in your heart believe you can't do the job because of the borders that may be up, I suggest that you just go on and back out right now, because it ain't gonna look good for you. You know what I mean? And that's just that. And that's my time, folks. I just want to talk Greensboro, Guilford County, North Carolina politics. That's what I want to talk right now. All right? And we just need to pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that y'all share this around with your friends, family, and all who care. Share it with them. Share it if you know Justin Allen, if you know Mark Cummings, if you know Eric Roberts. Share it with them. Let them know. You gotta come harder, and you might say, well, if Nancy Vaughn ain't been doing nothing, well, I gotta come. You gotta come harder. Ask yourself why you gotta come harder. You gotta come harder. So that's my time, ladies and gentlemen. This is Space Invaders TV. Y'all have a great one. Once again, it is Thursday, the 28th, 2022. Y'all have a great, safe rest of the week and weekend, and we'll talk next week. I'm gone.